But thoughts? Why thoughts? What kind of thoughts? Just thoughts? Like, gee, he's dead. How does that help? When first reporting on Michael J. Fox's Parkinson's disease, one news lady announced that everyone's thoughts are with Michael. Well, I'm by no means happy that he's sick, and he happens to be one of the few celebrities I genuinely like. But to be perfectly honest with you, for most of the day, my thoughts were definitely not with Michael. I wish him well, and I admire the way he copes, but at any given moment, my thoughts are probably on Pussy. The satellite service I get has this great channel, Explicit TV. It's not nearly as limited in content as the standard channels you see. Here are a few excerpts from their program guide. Daytime drama. Harper Darrow and Mary Jane Crotchjockey star in the continuing story of hardship, sorrow, fear, pain, disillusionment, guilt, and suicide in a blue-collar family living in a run-down neighborhood. Don't miss the acclaimed daytime drama, Fuck This Shit. In tomorrow's episode, Velma is given a cesarean section by Nick and Artie, two neighbors who are handy with tools, only to discover she wasn't really pregnant. Partial nudity, heavy drinking, spousal abuse, despair, home improvement tips. A public service program. Every evening at 7:30, citizens and consumers get a chance to sound off and air their complaints. Don't miss Blow It Out Your Ass with Consumer Ombudsman Susan Dorkalot. If you have a complaint to register, be sure you call in, talk to Susan, explain your grievances and complaints, and then listen carefully as she bellows, "Blow it out your ass!" Con games, larceny, gullibility, anger, hostility. Financial news. Every evening at 6 o'clock, catch the Wall Street buzz on Money Talks, Shit Walks. Tonight, Ron Insana interviews Windfall Profits III, one more worthless cocksucker who makes his living on Wall Street. Don't be left behind in the fast-changing world of business and finance. Keep up to date by watching Money Talks, Shit Walks, brought to you by Pennington Craymore, Wall Street scumbag since 1869. Greed, envy, arrogance, predatory males. Old-time comedy favorites. Comedy rules the house on Wednesday night with four of your all-time favorites in a row. First, on Mork and Mindy, Mork is caught performing cunnilingus on a gumball machine. The fun begins and the gumballs fly when Mindy tries to work Mork's tongue loose, gets sexually aroused, and has her first quintuple orgasm. Gum chewing, moaning, Lord's name taken in vain. Then, on All in the Family, Archie Bunker kills a nigger, blames it on a spick and two chinks, and hires a yid lawyer to bribe the judge. Don't miss the laughs as two guineas beat the shit out of Archie just for the fun of it. Meanwhile, police arrest Michael for pimping out Gloria to Louise Jefferson for a mixed-race dyke gangbang in the back of George's dry cleaners. Racism, bigotry, vaginal bruising. After that, on I Love Lucy, Ricky pays Ethel $20 for a quick hand job in the broom closet, but things really get hilarious when Fred is caught placing a kosher knockwurst in Lucy's asshole. Things get worse when Ricky's nightclub show is canceled as 12 members of the band come down with anal warts and have to play standing up. Nudity, sex, sphincter jokes, bogus Latin music. Our quartet of madcap sitcoms continues with Leave It to Beaver, as Beaver and Wally fall out of a maple tree while masturbating each other. Imagine everyone's surprise when they land smack on top of a flustered June Cleaver who is giving Eddie Haskell a blowjob under the tree. Pee-pee jokes. Frontier nostalgia. Next week, back-to-back on Nostalgia Theater, you'll see two of America's favorite episodes of Little House on the Prairie. First, the 1975 Christmas show, A Douchebag for Clara. Little Clara comes of age and asks Santa for her own douchebag. At first it looks like a disaster when, out of inexperience, she sticks it in the wrong hole. But Luke, the disturbed neighbor boy, saves the day when he distracts everyone by removing his dog's vital organs with a stick. Clara later learns to douche properly after several long sessions with old Doc Flathammer. Then you'll see just about everyone's favorite Little House on the Prairie, the hilarious Missy Takes a Dump in the Woods, as our young heroine answers nature's call while wearing high heels and a long dress. Watch her as she tries to maneuver through bramble bushes and poison sumac. Then, too late, she finds out there's no toilet paper and has to wipe herself with several pine cones. The fun and the screaming begins when she unknowingly pulls the cones in the wrong direction. Partial nudity, douche lessons, unpleasant language. Dueling talk shows. Since last month Oprah had a special show, Women Who Fake Orgasms, this month, not to be outdone, Jerry Springer is presenting a nighttime special, Men Who Fake Bowel Movements. Graphic video, foul odors. In a special program, Dr. Phil welcomes famed psychic medium John Edwards to the show, and they try to contact dead whores. Then, in a special pre-taped segment, Dr. Phil cures a woman's fear of flying by throwing her out of an airplane. Limited intellects. Even more talk. Two fascinating glimpses into the medical world as Montel Williams investigates doctors who intentionally give patients the sif, and Maury Povich interviews twins who eat each other's feces. Indigestion. Award-winning documentary maker Ken Burns continues his penetrating look at America's history as he takes on a three-part study, The Great Cabbage Fart Panic of 1860. The disaster, which lasted an entire summer, took the lives of 3,500 people, mostly from lung diseases. The special sound effects heard required the services of over 300 Milwaukee men who were fed only beer and cabbage for 7 weeks. 14 stuntmen died during the recreations. Then, Friday at midnight, don't miss Willie Nelson's pay-per-view concert, Wankin' with Willie. Willie kicks off the festivities in great fashion as he gets right into one of his all-time bestsellers, Too Drunk to Jerk Off. Then he introduces his guest star, Loretta Lynn, who sings her big hit, Your Love Ran Down My Leg and Now You're Gone. Willie then joins her on stage, and they warble a pair of romantic love songs, Kiss Me, I'm Coming, and You Blew My Mind, Now Blow Me. The pair's tandem segment concludes as Willie serenades Loretta with his special new arrangement of We Kissed and My Balls Exploded. Willie then takes the solo spotlight again with his familiar country lament, I Should Have Fucked Old What's-Her-Name. And what would a Willie Nelson show be without a good old cowboy song? This time he honors the late Roy Rogers and does an authentic Western ballad written by Roy called It's Midnight in Montana and I Can't Get My Dick Out of This Cow. Home movie footage of the original incident, taken by Roy's beloved wife Dale Evans, adds to the song's authenticity. His faithful horse Trigger is seen off to the side, brandishing a huge hard-on. The whole shebang then ends with more vintage video, this time from Willie's first special. Two of Willie's great buddies, Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings, both now gone to that big corral in the sky, are seen with Willie as they all deliver a rousing version of that definitive honky-tonk anthem, drinking beer, taking a shit, and passing out. As the closing credits roll and his band plays God Bless America, Willie is seen smoking a big joint rolled in American flag paper. Hi, honey, how was Debbie's checkup? The dentist was really pleased. Only 6 extractions this time. Great. Plus, she needs a jawbone graft and 12 implants. Must be that new gel toothpaste we've been using. Yes, patented new Chopper Sheen. Removes unwanted pulp, enamel, and bone. Chopper Sheen, now in refreshing mint. Here's a piece of graffiti I saw scrawled in black marking pen on one of those newspaper dispensers you see on New York sidewalks. It said, Rosie O'Donnell sleeps with her head between a woman's legs. I couldn't help wondering who had written it, and under what circumstances. I wondered, had someone simply awakened that morning and decided the time had come to share this little tidbit he'd been thinking about for a long time? And had he gone out that day determined to find a good place to write it, and this seemed like the best spot? Was it that simple? Or was the person just out walking around and had this sudden burst of inspiration, something he didn't want to forget, but he didn't have a piece of paper handy? And why didn't he take the newspaper dispenser home with him to refer to it later? And I also wondered, if that was it, what kind of person was walking around with one of those thick felt-tip marking pens in his pocket in the first place. This wasn't no Sharpie, folks. This was one of those serious, thick, chisel-tip pens that get you high if you leave it open too long. It's thoughts of this sort that seriously limit the size of my circle of friends.